I weigh more than I weighed when I had either of my children. I lost my mom to dementia, but she had diabetes and she had
Mm.
kidney disease and just, a whole host of things. And there's a lot of illness in my family. And I just finally decided, I can just keep burying my head in the sand or it's really time to do something about it. The very idea that I can eat 2,100 calories, still not be gaining a pound. And like I said, and fitting in, the first few times I tried to, it's like, I feel like things are changing. Let me try these pants on that I couldn't wear, the beginning of the year and they fit. And I went, well, wait a minute. How'd that happen? I have such a sweet tooth. I'm such a sweet eater. Like I could not walk away. I could not pass a sweet that I didn't have to have it. And let me tell you something. Yes, I can. And
Mm.
it shocks me.
Let's go back quite a few weeks, months now to pre-Ignite Claire. Can you tell us a little bit about what was going on physically, mentally, emotionally? That my favorite line, not another day, not another minute, not another second, right? What was that breaking point where you're like, I need to do something differently?
Yeah, I, have had a lot of stressful last few years. I'm 55. I have, had a hysterectomy, kind of in that stage of life, and just went to, had a move, went to the doctor, and got on the scale and realized. Okay, I weigh more than I weighed when I had either of my children.
Mm.
And I'm that person that, growing up, I could eat what I wanted, never had to worry about it. Weight was never an issue for me. Like I just, you know, I never had to worry about weight loss. It just wasn't a problem. I just kind of was one of those lucky people who just didn't really, didn't gain a lot of weight. It just wasn't really an issue growing up and have just found it was like in my 30s, 30s, 40s, maybe it was an extra 10 pounds, maybe it was an extra, and it wasn't so bad. But it finally got to a point where was seeing numbers on the scales that I had never, ever, ever seen before. And, I lost my mom to dementia, but she had diabetes and she had
Mm.
kidney disease and just, a whole host of things. And there's a lot of illness in my family. And I just finally decided, I can just keep burying my head in the sand or it's really time to do something about it. But as you say, I've done that. I've been there, done that, looked at tried things, and then it's like, but what?
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I mean, where do you go? What do you do? So,
Yeah, the word that I always come back to is hope, right? It's like when we're doing the things and the things aren't working, of course,
mhm,
as humans, at some point we're like, we give up hope because
right,
what else is there to do?
right, right.
Yeah.
And, as me and so many of my girlfriends talk about, it's like, I guess this is us in our 50s. I mean, this is
Mm.
just where we get to. And it's like, but is it really? I mean, do we have to?
Yeah.
And so, just came across one of your podcasts on social media as I think a lot of people do. And it, there were some things there that really resonated. And, and again, you just start, you kind of wonder, but, you know, I mean, I've done it all. I mean, from, you know, the shakes and the things that worked back in my 30s to the intermittent fasting to, I mean, just all the things. Um, I mean, if you can name it, I've probably tried it, short of the actual drugs, and I think the reason I came across your podcast was I started Googling those things. I was
Mm.
looking at it looking at it on social media, looking at like literally thinking, do I ask my doctor about this? I mean, is this where I am? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too what you and your girlfriends are saying, like, this is just how it is. It's hard because doctors are saying that too. I can't tell
Right.
you how many women are like, "Yeah, my doctor said welcome to midlife. This is just what it is." And I'm like, like, "Can we take their medical license away because that is not true."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you're in menopause and you've had a hysterectomy and they hand you, they just want to hand you another medication to fix that. Well, I can't sleep, and we all talk, I mean, I can't sleep well. Well, here, take this. Well, I have anxiety. Well, here, take this. Well, and so many different things. And you're like, well, I just thought that's just how it was.
Yeah.
I just thought that's and I mean, and that's what my saw watched my mother go through, and it's what we watched the women before us go through, and so we're just conditioned to think that that's just the way it's supposed to be. So
Yeah, and it's so interesting as you know, in Ignite, we focus so much on what we call the big 3, cortisol, gut health, inflammation. And what we can learn is instead of popping pills, we can get to the root of that, right? Like sleep is typically a cortisol issue. Even anxiety at its root is a gut health issue. So, sure, maybe there's a time and place for supplements, but supplement means to add to. So let's get to the root first, and then if we have to supplement, we know why we're doing it as opposed to, I like to say, playing darts with a blindfold on.
exactly, exactly. I mean, and there are so many things, as I've gone through the modules and the courses that it's like, really, that can be related to menopause? I mean, I've had two frozen shoulders and nobody could tell me that that
Oh,
could be related to menopause,
yep.
and had two friends and a cousin who went through, and doctors just said, oh, it's just something that happens to women because we have breasts and tend to work on computers. And it's like, oh, really? Okay, well, I mean,
Ugh. It's funny
because
because it's not. Like,
when I went to them and said, why did I just wake up with this one day? Like,
yeah.
and it's stressful and I need to be able to move my arm. My mom's sick and I've got all these things, you just and the biggest thing is I just don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was looking for with this too was, all these other things that I had tried. I've worked with coaches, I've worked with nutrition coaches, all these things. And it's okay, here's this giant plan and you've got to and it was so big and so time consuming. Everything was so time consuming. And I didn't need one more time consuming thing in my life. Like my life is big and time consuming as it is. You know, and that
Yes.
was one of the things, the first call I had, I just said, look, I need the food noise to like I don't need what I'm going to eat and food to just take up more of my life.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my tendency was I would get busy. I would, and that's where intermittent fasting, I tried that because it was like, oh, I cannot eat till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, the problem with that was that's all fine until you finally, your body goes, but you're gonna do something. And then you're starving to death. And you go home. And if you're like me and you have a big sweet tooth and you cave and you eat nothing but trash,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
feel like crap and you can't sleep and and everything just compounds. And so, it's like no wonder when I turned a little nutrition on right, I lost a few pounds probably, it's like, "Oh, we don't eat garbage anymore."
I love that you brought up the time consuming thing because so many people hear, "Oh, I have to track my food. I don't have time for that," right? And it's like there's such a big difference between ruminating and you can eat this, you can't eat that versus let's take a few minutes a day, not hours a day, not major life overhaul, but let's flow with your lifestyle and take a few minutes a day to master a new skill. And I think that's an easy thing to say and a tough thing for a lot of people who have that skepticism to hear. So I love hearing from you like, my life is busy. I need something that's education based so I just get it and move on with my life.
Yes, and I'm telling you, I love the tracking. Like,
Mm.
literally, because I can just do it and it just fits.
Yeah.
And most people in my life don't even know what I'm doing. They don't, I don't like the attention around you're on a diet, you're doing this thing,
Yes.
this plan. I can go to, I mean, this week I went to a business luncheon and they served, I mean, I live in Texas and they served fried fish and fried this and fried that. I mean, and, but I had had my healthy breakfast and I knew kind of what I had, in my portions for the day. I had left in my macros for the day and I
Yeah.
could have smaller portions, but I knew what I had and I remembered it. And I sat there while they're doing their talking and put it in my phone. And then at the end of my day, I looked to see what I had left. And that's how I decided on dinner. And it just fit.
Amazing.
And most of us are looking at, people are looking at their phone. They don't know what you're putting in that phone.
You could be on Instagram or tracking your food.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, and so I have done this at the beach on vacation with my family and date night dinners with my husband. And I don't have to not participate or not do anything because I just track it and move on. And
Yeah.
it's not, oh, wait a minute, is that food okay or not okay? I mean, I've had baby shower cake and now afterwards I went, "Oh, we don't eat sugar that much anymore. That didn't sit so well."
Yeah.
But that's okay. I could make that choice if I wanted to, and I kind of know and it's fun. Then at the end of the evening, I sit down and I have my few go-to snacks and I figure out where it fits and what I have left and play my little game and, figure out what my treat is for the evening. So, it all just fits and it's so easy and it just works with everything else I'm doing. And, if
Yeah.
my husband says, let's go get Mexican, I'm like, okay. And I'm punching in my, couple of tacos or whatever it is I know I like from
Yep.
our favorite restaurant. And, if I want a margarita and I'm not way up on my carbs today, I might punch that in there too. And it's all good. And
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it. And I don't feel like I blew up my last 3 months I mean, there's just no guilt around it. I just can enjoy it and move on and it's still working. And I've still lost, 6 pounds along the way and I can wear clothes that I couldn't wear 6 months ago. And so, I mean, something's working right.
Real quickly, before we keep going in this episode, we are talking a lot about metabolisms in menopause in today's episode. So I want to offer you a chance to deepen your knowledge. If you haven't yet checked out my free workshop, How to Fire Up Your Metabolism in Menopause and Beyond, it is one of my go-to favorite pieces of content that I have out here in the interwebs. You can use the link in the show notes below or go to mindstrongfitness.com and you'll get a cute little pop-up that'll get you straight into the workshop. Now, let's get back to the show. I love everything you just said because one of the things we hear time and time again that I've started using in marketing, this was not my marketing team or myself, but we've heard from members is this healed my relationship with food. And the thing I love about that is we don't have to work for that part, right? When you can
Right.
have a margarita and fit it into your quote unquote budget, all of a sudden the shame, blame, guilt of I shouldn't have had that. Oh, why did I do that? Like it just disappears organically. And to me, that's like the hands in the air hallelujah moment of like, there's things we have to work at. If we're going to master a skill, we have to work at it. That part,
Right.
that healing's going to happen naturally.
Right. Right. I mean, you just, I if it fits, I can have it. I mean, and if
Yeah.
if I know I want to have that today, I'll make it fit. I'll start out with my good high protein breakfast in the morning and I've learned to kind of front load it and you do get your ideas. If I've had a really busy day at work and I haven't had my meal like I should, I've got my favorite smoothie place that I stop and get my high protein smoothie on the way home and so you kind of learn those things, but it all just can fit in however I need it to, and
Yeah.
it's just so easy to it's just portable and it goes with you, and I don't have to have a ton of Tupperware dishes wherever I go or be a spectacle or, be the weird girl who's not eating what everybody else is eating at the business meeting. I mean, I run a nonprofit. I don't want that kind of attention. So
Yeah. And
it
that's the
yeah.
sustainable lifestyle, right? When you start dragging Tupperware with you and I have to meal prep every meal of the day and I can't eat this, like anyone can do that for a few months, right? Maybe you have more willpower than I do, so you do it for a year, but it's learning how to go and have the fried fish at the company, like
Mhm.
it's just flowing with your lifestyle. That's the whole education, sustainable lifestyle piece.
Right. Right, yeah, and that's
Talk to us a little bit. So we have, you know this because you've been in the community. We have some women who come in, they're like, yeah, I've heard about a healing stage before. It makes sense. We have some women who look at me like I have 17 heads. Like, are you crazy, Rachel? You want me to raise my calories so that I can lose weight? You've gone from what, 1,500 to 2,100. Can
mhm.
you talk a little bit about what that experience has been like for you of raising calories and what that feels like?
Yeah, at first, I remember first of all, I was not a breakfast eater. Like,
Mm.
I just, again, I said I've done intermittent fasting, and it was like I would wake up every morning, I wanted my coffee and nothing. I don't talk to me about breakfast. My husband loves it because I cook him eggs in the morning now, and he thinks that's fabulous. But I had to teach myself to do that, and now I want it. Like, I'm
Mm.
hungry for it. But it took a little bit. Like, I remember the first, few weeks telling my coach, like, this is too much food. Like, I just don't know. I don't know about this. I don't think, I don't think I can eat all this. And now I have found, I mean, once you get used, once you start doing it, pretty soon your body's going, oh, yeah, you can. Oh, we want
Yeah.
this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And my husband laughs at me. He's like, "You just ate a few hours ago. You're hungry again?" "Yes, I am." When we go on
Yes.
vacation, I'm like, "Oh, no, we eat 3 meals a day now and a snack sometimes."
I love that. Yeah, one of the things that we talk a lot about here is that, never have I ever had someone coming to us under eating being like, I am starving all day. Well, we hear the yeah buts, yeah, but I'm not hungry. And of course we're not, because we have sensors in our brains and body whose sole jobs to communicate hunger. And as humans, we are pleasure seeking creatures. We're not going to push on the bruise. So, you know this firsthand. It sounds crazy, but we throw a party when you're like, I don't know what happened, but I'm feeling hungry. We're like, yes, glaring neon sign that your metabolism is coming back
Mhm.
online.
Mhm. And so, it was I mean, it took a minute, but like you said, the very idea that I can eat 2,100 calories and I'm still not be gaining a pound, not any I mean, and like I said, and fitting in, the first few times I tried to it's like, I feel like things are changing. Let me try these pants on that I couldn't wear, the beginning of the year and they fit. And I went, well, wait a minute. How'd that happen?
In a healing stage, no less.
Yeah, how did I pull that off? So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's a good thing. It's like but not only am I hungry, but the food noise and the cravings. I always said, and I was I was like, I have such a sweet tooth. I'm such a sweet eater. Like, I could not walk away. I could not pass a sweet that I didn't have to have it. And let me tell you something, yes, I can. And
mm,
it shocks me. It literally shocks me that I can be somewhere now where there are sweets and go, yeah, you know what? No, I'm fine. I'm good. And it's not like white knuckle and sheer willpower. I'm okay without it.
yeah.
And I didn't understand why my brain was telling me all the time that I needed carbs and sweets. Like,
Mm,
I could have eaten my weight in carbs and sweets, but it was because I wasn't fueled. I didn't have
yeah.
what I needed. And
Yeah.
so, I went home every night and could have eaten, a gallon of pasta and a whole bag of sugar. And then
Yeah.
I wondered why I felt like crap, so
It's so true. Like at the core of food noise is two things. One is underfueling. Like food noise is not actually noise. It's our body being like, please, for the love of everything, give me what I'm asking. And
right.
number two, it's that power of choice. It's, think about anything in the world besides a blue elephant. Where does our brain go?
Mhm,
So when diet culture is telling us you can't, you can't, you can't, of course that's all we want. Right.
mhm.
When you lean into that power of choice and start fueling your body correctly, like game over, food noise over, I should say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I mean, now it's like, do I really now it's like, do I really love that dessert? Like, is it something that, if that I really, really like? And if so, maybe I'll have a little bit of it, and
Mhm.
if not, no, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need it, so it's
Oh,
it's amazing to me that, my brain's been able to make that shift, and I'm not that person that just can't walk away from sweets because I thought I was.
oh, that's a whole self-identity shift of like, nope,
Mhm,
this is not a flaw within me. This is just a biological thing that I've now healed.
mhm, mhm.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Okay, Claire. Oh, I'm loving this conversation. Last question, favorite question. I want to put you in the coach's chair for a second. Okay. I want you to pretend that on the other side of this video, instead of Rachel, founder of MindStrong, I am Rachel feeling like you were, right? I've hit this moment where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm higher than my pregnancy weight. I have to make a change. Something has to change." And I'm a bit skeptical because I've tried you name it and I have tried it. And here comes this Rachel chick on Instagram once again promising the world like everyone else. What do you, Coach Claire, say to skeptical but needs a change newbie Rachel?
Um, I mean, I guess what resonated for me was, I mean, first of all, just jump in and try it. I mean, you've tried everything else. Try.
What's one more?
I mean, come on, right? This is, it's different. It's a new approach. Um, I mean, it's a definitely an educational approach. And I love the idea. And I had to trust the idea that when you walked away from this, you would be able to walk away with the full knowledge of what you do from here on out.
Mhm.
And I definitely, I mean, I've completed my first, my 12 weeks, and I do, like, I know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, that's an amazing feeling that, okay, I can do this. Like, it's sustainable. And the biggest thing is just, you know, track. Just get into that tracking. It's so easy. I
Yeah.
mean, the tracker that we use, I mean, it's free. First of all, the one I had found wanted to everything wants to charge you and doesn't even charge you, which I love. But it's just so simple to do.
Yeah.
I just find it so great, and I love looking at the chart and all the numbers line up, and, you know, there's so much satisfaction at getting to your goals at the end of every day. So,
I
yeah,
love that you love to track. I'm the kind of person I was like, "Get me through tracking so I can eat intuitively." And if you love to track, it's only
yeah,
gonna be faster and more efficient for you. That's
yeah.
an incredible quality to have. Teach me
I
your
think
ways,
it's
Claire.
like that, that little hurrah moment at the end of every day. It's like,
Yeah.
"Let me see if I can,
The
fix
app shoots
get this."
confetti when you hit
Yes,
your goals.
exactly,
Yeah.
like, I
I
just
love what
get
you
a
said
charge.
about the education piece because that's something, we always start with those strategy sessions. And a lot of times what we hear is like, I have been through every program in the books. I'm skeptical, which I understand. This is why I hate the nutrition industry. And the question we always ask is, which of those programs gave you an education? Right?
Mhm,
Because if you understand the how and why of something, you take its power away. And that I believe that's why we've been able to not just survive, but thrive for the past decade is like, my whole thing is like, let me just teach you. Doesn't have to be this hard. Let me just teach you so on the other side you don't need me or anyone else. And I love hearing you say, I'm on the other side. I got the education. Like, yes, the
right.
work works when you do the work.
Yeah, I like learning. I mean, I'm that person that if I'm gonna go to the doctor and they're gonna tell me, "This is what we're gonna do," well, first you're gonna have to explain to me why. Like,
Yeah.
I may not be a doctor, but I at least need to understand in layman's terms, what are we gonna do and why are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
Because I'm an intelligent human being and at least give me give me the big picture story. And so I like understanding, and all of the information that you put, it was easy to understand and it just makes sense. I
Mm.
mean, and it answers so many questions. I mean, not about so many things that I wouldn't have even known were related to nutrition.
Wow.
Things that it's like, oh, are related to menopause. Like, are you kidding me? That's really? Oh, well, that's where that came from. Who
Yeah.
knew? I mean, we're not just crazy people when we get into our 50s. We're women going through changes. And,
Yeah.
not everybody tells us that.
Right.
And sometimes just that is reassuring. It makes you feel a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite lines, Dr. Thatcher, our resident naturopath that comes in, she and I the first thing we ever bonded over was she said to me, I'm a big believer that the human body doesn't make mistakes. So if it's doing something we don't want, our job's to figure out why. And I was like, "Oh, soul sister right there."
Right. Right. And so many
Yeah.
doctors just, it's like, oh, well, you've got that. Here's a pill for that.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you're taking a pill for this and then another pill for the side effects for that
Yes.
and another pill for the side effects for that. And it's, you've got a cabinet full of pills and you're not even sure why you're taking them. And, that's just not a good, first of all, it'll cost you a fortune.
Right.
And, it's like, really? So I could just be eating better and maybe fixing a lot of those things and doing a whole lot better. So, yeah.
Amazing. Claire, I cannot thank you enough. There are so many women that I know this is going to resonate with them. Especially I love that for you this felt so easy, right? Because that's again what I said earlier. Some people hear tracking their food and it sounds like another thing, pun intended, added to their plate. And I think you've just are a living breathing example of first of all the work works when you do the work.
Mhm.
Secondly, there's a difference between beating ourselves into the ground and taking a few minutes a day to master a skill, and on the other side of that skill is freedom. So,
Right.
thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you.